How
That's
about now?
because we were muted. Can you guys?
Oh wow, it was a little bit of a scramble today. Sorry.
Can you
gang.
guys?
Okay.
All right.
Can you hear us now?
Facebook fam, can you hear us? Sorry about that.
Okay.
I think we're good now.
Great. Okay. Again, I'm John Gardner. This is my law partner.
Somebody's
and
laughing at
wife,
us.
Radlin Mendoza, and we're Gardner and Mendoza. Sorry, we had some technical trouble tonight, and we were really scrambling to get it figured out, and we did. So yes, they can.
What
hear
really
us
happened
now.
was like the DoorDash delivery came, and we had 15 minutes to eat with our kids before we started this, and
and
we just
technical trouble,
and then technical trouble, which we don't normally have. But anyway, thank
Okay.
you for your patience, and thank you guys for letting us know that you could not hear us.
Okay, and
We're
our
gonna
friends
jump right in.
here, our TikTok crew is telling us that they can hear us now as well. So that's great.
Yeah, I think they're not
Good.
impacted because it's
All
the phone.
right,
So,
yep.
all right, fantastic. Well, we're gonna just jump right in since we have wasted time, precious time, 10 minutes.
Yes. And one thing that I do want to remind everyone and warn you about is that what we do here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is technically not legal advice. Okay.
Not legal advice. All
Not
right.
legal advice, just answers to your questions.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm going to be monitoring the questions here, and I'm also going to be sharing this to our Facebook. So while I'm doing that, do you want to give a quick update on the?
Yeah, let everyone know where we are with things. And this is cool. We've got somebody watching. They just checked in, said they're watching from California right now.
Nice. Hello, welcome.
Thanks for joining us. One of the things that I have been doing every week is bringing updates on possible immigration legislation reforms to immigration law. It's kind of been getting worse as the year's been going on here, honestly, because there was a big immigration proposal. Looked like something might be happening. Then it kind of started to get pared down, watered down. It got more and more narrow as time went on, and then then it was a possibility that it would be attached to a reconciliation bill to go through the Senate without a filibuster, so it could get around the filibuster, I should say. And then the Senate parliamentarian ruled that it could not be attached to a reconciliation spending bill. And so there was then a second chance to do that. They pared the language down and kind of went about it with a plan B. And the Senate parliamentarian ruled that even that change, the new language, that also was not proper to be attached to a reconciliation spending bill. So I'm sad to report that where we are right now is where we have been for many years, for as long as we've been doing this almost, where we have kind of just immigration reform stalled out. We've had little bits and nibbles around the edges for years, and, we'll take what we can get. But our hope for something bigger and, more robust and more permanent just doesn't seem to be looking that great right now. So unfortunately, keep you posted though. All right.
Thank you for that. All right, we have a couple of questions, and thank you, Miss Lovely Lee. She says she is a fan. We're a fan of you too. Thanks for joining us when you can, and it's always awesome to see you on our live stream. And for everyone actually who comes and asks questions. So I'm going to put a question up. Well, I'm going to just actually read it, so I don't put the question up. This is a little bit sensitive. So. Abused wife just left her abusive husband, now pregnant with my child. Will my name on the baby's birth certificate affect her 2-year conditional green card? So the issue here is essentially a bona fide marriage issue. The question ultimately with removing the conditions on a green card and lawful permanent residency is, was it a bona fide marriage at the inception of the marriage? So if there are, if there, you have documents to show that marriage certificate, and a lot of people say, "Hey, well, I do have my marriage certificate. That's the that's the last thing we need. I mean, we do need the marriage certificate, but the marriage certificate is not something to show your bona fide marriage and relationship. It's, bank account statements, your lease, your utility bills together, if you've traveled together, photos that you've taken together. These are some of the things that we put in. Now that's just a tiny bit of what we put into an I-751 package. Now you have an abusive spouse situation thrown in here, and there is a way to still remove the conditions, of course, if there is an abusive spouse situation. So to your original question, Kenneth, will the name on the baby's birth certificate affect the 2-year conditional green card? I'm going to say that you got to do what you got to do, right? When your baby is born, if I were the parent, if I were the father, I would want my name on the baby's birth certificate. And again, the timing of everything, we'd look into that, but it's going to come into play anyway. Whether a child is born, just timing wise, a child is born, and anyone who's going to be interviewing your girlfriend is going to back the date up and say, okay, well, when did you get into this relationship with Kenneth? Did it have something to do with the breakup of your marriage? Even if all of that is true, it's okay. It's fine. There are ways to get over the problem of, the applicant not being with the original petitioner, especially if abuse is involved. So hopefully that answers your question, and sorry to hear that that's happening, but there is hope and there's a way forward for her to remove the conditions on her green card. And I personally think that you should put your name on your baby's birth certificate. And I understand that immigration is a part of it, but and a consideration, but it's not something that really should come into play with that particular question. All right. What do we have over there? We'll do one here and one there.
Back and forth. So one of the very early questions is sort of a general question.
Yeah.
Sherry wants to know whether an approval letter can expire or get revoked.
Yes. An approval letter can expire or get revoked in I-130 petition approval if the petitioner and the applicant do not take steps to, do the second part of that case, the National Visa Center processing. So yeah, it can expire and get revoked if no action is taken on it. So if you have an I-130 petition and it's been approved and maybe a year has passed and nothing has been going on with it, or you don't know what to do next, you feel free to reach out to us. We'll see if that's something that can still be saved. It usually can be, unless it's been 10 years. Even then, I mean, it's always good to look into it. As John and I have said, probably every single time we come on live stream, is it doesn't hurt to make a consultation. I mean, it does. It hurts $245 in an hour of your time with an immigration attorney, but it doesn't hurt to make that consultation, really, and it will definitely be very helpful for those of you who have questions like this.
Yes.
To just move forward and to know a path forward. Whether you use us or not as your attorneys, that's fine. We want you to be able to move forward in your case and not just sit there afraid about what could happen or what is going to happen, or is this petition dead? There's nothing I can do. I mean, we've all done it. We've all done that for certain things. But don't do that with your immigration case, because we can help.
Yeah, it's so important. And if you have, when people don't want to talk to an immigration lawyer, it makes me wonder, what other incredibly important things are you doing that you're not consulting with a professional for? Hopefully none. I mean, this is one of the most important things that you're going to be doing in your life. And it's really a pretty small investment when you think about it, in terms of not making mistakes, knowing the best way to go forward, and making sure you don't do anything that's going to be fatal to your case just by stepping into a trap just because you don't know any better. So
right.
again, like Radlin said, it doesn't have to be us. If you feel more comfortable talking to an immigration lawyer that, you know, is in the city or state, town, whatever country where you live, that's fine. We get that. But you really should talk to a professional about your case before you go totally into it with both feet. All right.
Yeah, and immigration attorneys can represent people in all 50 states because it is immigration law, which is federal, and it's the same law applied to all 50 states. So sometimes there's a little bit of confusion with that, you know, because a lot of times there's family law and immigration law mixed in together where, you know, we'll say, well, we can help you with your marriage adjustment, but you're going to have to use a local divorce attorney in your state because divorce law is specific to the state, but federal law is the same in all 50 states. So anyway.
Yeah, we have clients all over the country, all over the world. So if you want us to help you out, get in touch with us because we can definitely help.
How do people get in touch with us?
Why don't you let them know?
No, you let them know.
Us.
I'm going to read this question.
You can call us. The phone number is area code 757-464-9224. You can find information about us on our website, Gardner and Mendoza. And you can find us on Facebook as well. All right.
All right.
And you can send questions to info@gmlaw.net.
There are several ways.
Yep.
Let me see here. Okay, so Kenneth is asking a follow-up question. Will the consultation be via Zoom? Yes, the consultation is virtual through Zoom, and I'll be happy to help you. All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm looking at this question. I'm going to put this on the board real quick here. I haven't read it yet, but there it is. I have a question. Is there a faster way to petition my sibling over age, has epilepsy and couldn't take care of himself because of health issues? Dad takes care of him once I get my citizenship. Or can my U.S. citizen mom apply for him? I'm planning to petition my dad once I get my citizenship, but no one will take care of my brother once that happens. Yeah, that is tough. That's a tough situation. So typically speaking, Anja, it's going to be faster if the parent petitions for your sibling, just because you know, the sibling to sibling category, a U.S. citizen sibling petitioning a sibling takes the longest. It's still not fast when a parent petitions for the unmarried son over 21. I'm assuming he's over 21. Now, I have seen this done before, where the disabled adult child has come into the country on some type of a humanitarian visa. I didn't do it myself, but one of my clients, this actually happened. And we were able to file a petition for him, and he was able to wait here during that time period. But he had a special humanitarian visa, and it's not something that we worked on, and I haven't done one of those yet. But I know that used to be an option. I don't know if it still is, but we'd be happy to look into that for you and reach out. But we've seen it before where this has happened. But long story long answer long, it would be faster for your dad to petition for him once he becomes a lawful permanent resident based on your petition. All right. Someone said we should have a YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel. So Ria wrote in there that we had a YouTube channel, but all it is just this live stream. And it's just recordings of the live stream, which, you know, works.
All right, here's one from TikTok here. It says, I petitioned my daughter when she was 19, and now she is 22, waiting for an interview. Is there hope?
Absolutely. There's absolutely hope.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah, there is. It's the issue right now is still that, you know, we have a pretty massive backlog for interviews at all of the U.S. embassies in the world. So that's something that is being, well, I don't know if it's being addressed, but I mean, it is, of course, it's being addressed. I'm sure they're trying to find ways in order to get rid of this backlog. One update that I wanted to give you guys we mentioned this briefly last week, but beginning in November, the Biden administration is going to be rescinding the COVID-19 regional travel bans, which right now covers 33 countries, including China, Iran, the Schengen area, UK, Ireland, Brazil, South Africa, and India, and replacing them with science-based solutions such as a vaccine requirement. So everyone's going to have to get a vaccine if you want to come into the United States. The COVID vaccine, COVID-19 testing and contact tracing measures. So we're still kind of waiting to see what that looks like, but that's going to, I think, just open it up a lot more. What is that? I don't know what that's going to do with the backlog of interviews per se, but it is moving in the right direction where some of these restrictions are being lifted, and hopefully there is a some type of trickle down effect where we can expect more movement. And just as a reminder, guys, everybody who needs a medical effective at the beginning of this month, October 1st, is going to have to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Unless it's not age appropriate, if there are health related reasons. And of course, there are medical and religious exemptions for that as well. But if you are going through the green card application process, trying to get a green card, then you are going to have to be vaccinated. So that started at the very beginning of this month. So
yeah, and this is positive. Anytime you have a case by case situation, that's going to be preferable to a blanket ban. I mean, a blanket ban across the board is tough.
Yeah, right. All right, we have a lot of questions today, which is exciting.
We've got questions
great
over here, but I just wanted to mention real fast that if you are joining us via TikTok, that's cool. We love it. Glad you're here. But we do give preference to the questions that are coming through Facebook because that's the main source here. And we can also get them in print and we can put them on the screen so that others can see them. It's easier for us to see them as well. All right. So
yeah, come over to Facebook and like our page and
follow. You have a better
follow.
chance of getting your question answered if you're coming through Facebook. They're just way easier for us to see.
I think you can see us better too. Maybe here's I don't know. All right. So we answered Anja's. Is that the last one that we answered?
Yeah. So I think we're up to Brizette here.
Oh, this is a good one. Hello, Brizette. Both of my parents are here. My sister and I are U.S. citizens. Is it better to have one sister apply for our parents or one sister per parent? Huh. Interesting question.
I feel like doing a Yoda voice right now.
I don't think
but it'll hurt my throat.
I don't think I've ever been asked this question before. Should one person? Well, I mean, I think that the answer to that question depends on the income requirements, for the affidavit of support. If you're splitting it up because of affidavit of support reasons, maybe it would be better. I would probably, if I were your attorney, I probably would recommend just having one sister file the petition for both parents. You can file them. I mean, you still have to file separate packages and petition and green card application and every single form and application separately for each parent, but you can file them in the same envelope, and then they will be adjudicated the same. And if there is an interview, and hopefully there's not an interview, then they would be interviewed at the same time. So I would go for just ease and go with one sister, unless there is an affidavit of support issue where, one sister, both sisters can't meet the threshold income requirement for filing petition and green card application. Hopefully that answers your question.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I'm glad your parents are here and you're able to go through that process. That's awesome.
Good for you.
All right, what do we have here? Any other questions up there? We're gonna.
Yeah, we've got some. Let's see.
We have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I know. Let's see
which is great. While you're looking at that, I wanted to just mention about the vaccines, which I mentioned, and the criteria and the criteria for adding the COVID-19 vaccinations to the list of vaccines to be required for immigrants and intending immigrants, I should say. They are as follows: the vaccine must be age appropriate for the immigrant applicant. The vaccine must protect against a disease that has the potential to cause an outbreak, and the vaccine must protect against a disease that has been eliminated or is in the process of being eliminated in the United States. And that's why COVID-19 was added.
Yep. Okay, somebody on TikTok says that they have filed a petition for their husband, but they never lived together because they're in a long distance relationship. Wants to know what evidence should they be trying to add with their petition.
Right. A lot of couples don't live together because of that. Maybe you met and fell in love and then got married, and then you came here to live your life because you can't have your spouse here because you have to go through this process first. So some of the things, correspondence, of course, if you all correspond and do messages, I definitely like to submit screenshots, rated PG screenshots of any correspondence that you might have with your spouse. And um, if there's anything else, the marriage, like the wedding itself, that's, obviously you're going to put photos of the wedding. But if there's anything else, if your spouse has sent you anything through the mail, if after you got married, people sent you things, maybe congratulations cards or whatever, or wedding cards, depending on how long you've been married or have been together. You can also submit things that you two have exchanged if you've exchanged cards. Um, you can have your friends and your family write affidavits, detailed affidavits and statements that, they know you're a married couple and together because, say, your coworker wants to write one, right? Well, my coworker, she takes her lunch break and I've seen her go in her cubicle and she FaceTimes her husband every single day at lunchtime and at 4:30 p.m. when she has a break, and she's been doing that for the past X amount of months. So you definitely have to do some out of the box thinking. If you've ever stayed in a hotel together, um, submit the hotel information. You've seen each other, right? You've gotten married. If you've only seen each other one or two times, every time you have seen each other, put your airline tickets down in there, your expenses, create a document trail. And if you don't have that stuff, you're going to have to, you can also submit an affidavit for yourself as well as your husband. Is it husband? Yeah.
Yes.
And then if there are any, like, I'm really getting into detail just because this is something that we really have to dig sometimes.
It's a good question.
It's a really good question.
And
Yeah.
it's this information hopefully will
Yeah.
be helpful to others too that may be listening.
You have to dig and dig and dig because sometimes people have absolutely nothing, but you're going to need something and you're going to have to create a paper trail, even if it's affidavits that are corroborated by, say, a credit card statement. Like, oh, we first met X, our first date was restaurant Z. Here's, my credit card statement where, I bought the dinner for the first date or whatever. So just corroboration and a little bit of out of the box thinking. So our tech assistant is over there drawing scary pictures and showing them to us. Is that not a scary picture? Oh no. Okay. I'm sorry. It's not. It's the flash. It is not a scary picture. Okay. All right. Let's go here. Let me see here. Hello, Mohammed. How's it going? Good to see you here. It's my sunrise buddy. All right, question. My brother has a B1, B2 visa. He's from Turkey. His visa ends November 20th, but they put departure date January 20th on his passport. Can he stay until January or he has to leave on November? Really, really great question. So the way that you find out the actual departure date is you need to go and look up your brother's I-94 on the I-94 lookup, which, it's governed by, I think it falls under Customs and Border Protection website. So if you actually just Google I-94 lookup, it will come up. It will ask you for your brother's name, his passport number, his date of birth, and it will show you the date of his entry and when he's supposed to go. So that should help. But the visa, all right, and the departure date are two different things. So the visa is something that your brother applied for. Maybe he applied for it 10 years ago. Maybe it was a multiple entry 10-year visa with an expiration date of November 20th. But when he comes in, he was given, say, 6 months, so that's common, and it's not necessarily a problem, but the date is probably January 20th that he has to leave, but I would 100% double check that on the CBP lookup, and I'll be happy to help you with that if you need help with that, since you are our Sunrise buddy. Anyway, it's good to see you, Mohammed. Thanks for the great question.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, sorry, we've got some stuff here, but then it just disappeared because some new ones came in.
John always tries to take them in the order that they are received.
Well, I like to take them in the order that they're received because the people that get them in first, just like immigration cases.
Oh,
anything you want to say about that?
Good one. Hey, my buddy's here. Bianca, what's going on? Great to see you.
So we always tell people that, even if processing times are going to take a long time, once to get your case filed, because the sooner you get it filed, the sooner you get it done.
While you're looking at that here, can your law firm represent someone that wants an annulment in the Philippines? They are currently living in the Philippines. Unfortunately, not, Rob. And if you find someone that is really good at doing annulments, please pass that contact information to me. No, we don't. I wish we did, but getting an annulment is tough.
All right. So somebody here wants to know, they said that my boyfriend is applying for a U.S. tourist visa. Should he put my name as a contact in the United States on the DS-160 form?
Yeah, if he wants to get the visa denied. No, I'm just kidding.
I knew you'd like that.
Yeah. So I don't know how to answer that question. I mean,
you all know what the trouble is here, right?
So let me just, I'm not going to answer that question, but let me kind of explain why John and I are kind of laughing about that. We're not laughing. We're just chuckling.
It's a perfect example of what I was saying at the beginning.
Yeah. Right.
Be careful. There are missteps that can be made.
So when a person applies for a tourist visa, one of the most common denials of a tourist visa is immigrant intent. Like the officer thinks you're actually not going to come back home after your short stay. So if a person puts down the boyfriend, the fiance as a contact information, then the officer's gonna be like, well, we're not going to give you this tourist visa because you're just basically gonna get married and do adjustment of status process in the United States. And that may not be true. I mean, not everybody wants to do that. I just talked to a couple and that's not what they wanted to do. So that could be just completely wrong, but that's just still the mindset.
Yeah, that's the red flag that you're gonna be getting, is that he's saying that he's coming here as a tourist because he wants to go see Times Square and the Washington Monument or whatever, but then significant other, girlfriend or boyfriend,
right,
is the contact person. It just raises the question.
Yeah, and again, we're not saying that if you put if he puts your name down and is in his interview and gets an officer and he just explains, oh no, I'm just gonna go look at the monuments with her, right, and then come back. Here's my job information. Yeah. Here's my apartment. Look at all this money in my bank account. I've got minor children that I still have to take care of. And shows all these ties to his country. then it might not be a problem, but it's often a problem.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it at that.
Just keep it at that.
Really great question, though.
All right, how about Esan wants to know if a U.S. citizen petitions for a sibling and puts their kid's name, can the kids still also apply for a non-immigrant visa? That's interesting.
So U.S. citizen files for the sibling,
petitioning for the sibling.
Yeah.
And puts the siblings' kids' names on there as well. Can the kids then also independently apply for some other kind of non-immigrant?
They can.
visa,
Yeah, sure.
even though they're in a process.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Answer is yes, they can.
And I would even say that it doesn't prevent the brother from, the sibling category. It's going to be harder for the brother, but the sibling category takes so long, that I don't know. I know it's hard. It's hard to get a tourist visa, and even harder if you have a petition pending. But I mean, one that takes, whatever, 17 years, 19 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway. All right, let me see here.
You got one there?
I have a really good question here. What do you have? Do you have a short one? This is gonna have me
well,
talking.
Lynn wants to know, she's been up here for a while. Lynn wants to know, is there a way that I can get my girlfriend in the Philippines here? I'm a green card holder and I'm also a girl. So it'd be a same-sex petition girlfriend who's in the Philippines. Is there any way to do that?
It's tough because the Philippines does not recognize same-sex marriage. And so they're not married yet. Yeah, my tip would be to try to get married somewhere and then file an immigrant visa for spouse. That's one tip. The other option would be to, I don't know when Lynn's going to become a U.S. citizen or when she can apply, but once you become a U.S. citizen, go visit your girlfriend. And then, if you can't somehow get married in a third country, then file the file for a fiance visa. So yeah, it's kind of tough to get around that. And I have not looked this up independently for myself. I've just been told this, and I know you guys think we're going to look after this, but many people have told us that there's no same-sex marriage in the Philippines. They won't do it. So I have not independently confirmed that. That's Lynn, if you can just, give me a thumbs up if that is also your understanding. But that's the way around that, to get married in a third country and then file the immigrant visa petition.
All right, Lynn, hope that helps.
That helps. Let us know.
Yeah,
but that is my understanding. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck.
I hope it works out.
That's tough. Let me answer this question from Diane. Diane, I'm a green card holder in the United States. Can my boyfriend apply for a tourist visa and we get married here? So Diane, that cannot be the plan.
That cannot be the stated plan.
That cannot be the plan. The plan cannot be for boyfriend to apply for a tourist visa for the purpose of getting married in the United States. That is not, he's not going to get the tourist visa. Now, maybe Diane's like, well, I mean, of course he's not going to tell them that's the reason why he's applying for the tourist visa. Duh. It's still can be problematic. I mean, because the intent, right? The intent, it's very hard to determine what the intent is. But when you look back at cases, especially cases where they're self-filing, a person applies for the tourist visa. The person says they're, say, going to go visit someone, and then they don't actually go there. They go straight to Diane's the house, right, from wherever they're coming from, and then they get married immediately and then file for the green card application. So they're the officer may give them a hard time about, when you applied for this tourist visa, what was your stated intent? What did you say? Well, I said that I was going to go see a friend. Well, you didn't go see that friend, did you? So you can see where this goes. In reality, it's tough to prove intent. It's tough to prove intent, and but it can be done. If an officer really wanted to go after a person, and I've seen this happen, then they could actually get the applications, the visa application is not that hard to get anymore. But I've actually seen this happen when it was kind of hard to get, when we're not like all technologically connected, where they found that the client lied at the interview, and that's a material misrepresentation. There's a waiver for that, but it's a pain. So, can he apply for a tourist visa and we get married here? The answer is no. You cannot have that process. Do people do that? All day long. But
yeah, the two can't be connected.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a tourist visa and you can get married here, but that can't be why you got the tourist visa. If that was your plan, then that's a non-starter. Don't do that.
Right. There are other ways, but that cannot be the plan. Great question. We love that question. We answer that question probably twice.
We get it all.
Twice every Facebook Live.
Yeah.
All right. This is a good question. Hold on a second. What do we have? Why are you looking at that? And I know you're trying to find. Okay.
I'm gonna take one there.
Jay, real quick, I checked processing times in some offices. One of the offices got more faster processing times in California, like all of them. I think it's Texas. It's Nebraska. Actually, my question is, can I file those offices with faster processing times instead of here in California? The answer is no, we cannot choose our own service centers, unfortunately. But Jay, file it. Okay, just file it.
All right, Ulysses wants to know.
Great name.
He says, hello from Maryland.
Hey, DMV.
Thanks for joining us from Maryland. My question is, do you know how long the 601A will take to get approved, if it gets approved after the I-130A or after the I-30A?
I have not looked at 601A processing times recently, but one of our attorneys, our actually managing attorney, Sarah Lawler, she handles all of our 601A. She's freaking whiz on those.
She's on it.
She's amazing. But I don't know what the processing times are right now for that. If you want to take a look, I mean, I can look it up real quick, but we have so many questions. But who asked that question?
That was Ulysses.
Ulysses, that's right. So Ulysses and everyone else who wants to check any kind of processing time, okay? Google USCIS processing times. It will come right up. It's the first link. It's uscis.gov, processing times, whatever. Put in the form number I-601A and then the service center, and it will spit out the times, the times. But it's really quick. It's 30 seconds to check that. Yeah, but good luck. If you need help with that, let us know. Like I said, we have a I don't think we can say expert, but we have a whiz. I don't think the bar has said we can't say a whiz. We have a whiz kid.
That's right.
We shouldn't call Sarah a kid. She's not a kid.
I looked in all the bar rules. The word whiz does not appear there anywhere.
All right. Okay. We answered Jay's question. Let's answer Maricel's question. Maricel says, hello, I want to adopt my nephew. I took care of him since he was born until he was 8 years old. I have evidence. Now he will turn 15. Do you think I have a chance to adopt him? Yes, you can. He's only turning 15, which means he's 14. You can adopt him prior to his turning 16. So you have some time to adopt him. Do that. Adopt him right away. Start that process. I don't know where Maricel is. By the spelling of her name, I'm going to guess Philippines, but maybe I'm wrong about that. That's just a educated guess. So get on that, because time is a ticking for that. We can absolutely help you with that. I think it's great. I think I have a great video on that on TikTok. as well as Instagram Reels. So check that video out about adopting niece or nephew. All right.
Okay.
This was actually okay. This
Yeah,
was
you want to look at that one real quick?
yeah, yeah. You grab some questions. You got one?
Yeah, here's a pretty open-ended one that you can tackle pretty quickly. Ranjam wants to know, what are the requirements or documents needed for the N400?
Funny how you said pretty quickly. The documents for an N400.
No,
okay.
the requirements.
The requirements.
The
Okay.
requirements.
The requirements. And documents or just the requirement. So you have to be a lawful permanent in order to apply for U.S. citizenship. If you're not in the military, you have to be a lawful permanent resident for 5 years. Okay. If you're applying early through marriage to U.S. citizen and living with that U.S. citizen for the past 3 years, then that's 3 years as a lawful permanent resident. So let's just assume they're not applying through marriage, okay? And you've been a lawful permanent resident for 5 years or more. You need a copy of your green card if you have not lost it, okay? If you have an old one, that's fine to submit the old one. If you have an expired one, it's also fine to submit the expired one. You need the filing fee of $725. You need if you were in the United States in between the ages of 18 and 26, then you have to show that you registered for selective service. And so hopefully you have that and you can look that up as well if you're male. If you are, you got your lawful permanent residence and you've now since changed your name because maybe you're divorced now, or maybe you went through a name change, then you have to show proof of your name change. If you have been convicted of any crimes or you've ever been arrested or anything like that, you need to submit the certified disposition, which brings me to that if you have been arrested, you should not be applying for U.S. citizenship by yourself. You should absolutely hire an attorney. But that was not what the question was. So those are, I'm trying to think if there are any other documents that we submit. Yeah, those are kind of the bare bone documents that we submit with the N400 application. Nothing more, nothing crazy. So
yeah, and let me just be clear. I didn't mean that it was what I meant. What I meant was it was a question that wasn't going to like break your brain trying to figure out what could possibly be the answer. It was a question that
gotcha.
I knew that would be
yes, yeah, for sure, 100%. We do that all day long.
Information that's just in your head at all times.
At all times. Also, you can apply 90 days early for U.S. citizenship. Okay, so if you've been a lawful permanent resident for 4 years and 9 months, you can go ahead and apply for U.S. citizenship. If you've been a lawful permanent resident for 2 years and 9 months and you're basing it on marriage and living with the U.S. citizen spouse, then you can apply early, 90 days early. All right. Good question. And there is a recent video on our TikTok about that. So check it out. If I've missed anything, it's all on there. I could have missed something there too, but all right. This is a good question. Good day, attorneys. This is from Das. I hope all is well. I had a divorce in Vegas on my first marriage and needed to stay there for 6 weeks to comply with the state's requirements to be eligible to file a divorce. That was last year. I stayed at my aunt's. Must I put that as one of primary addresses from the past 5 years on the application? I'm originally from California and reside here. All the best. Yes, I would use that address. I would definitely put the address down there.
Yep. No harm.
Yeah. I know it's a short period of time, but it's also a requirement to get a divorce, to be living there. So I would not skip the address.
Okay.
All right. I don't think I have any questions here.
Trying to grab a question. Has to do with timing.
What is it?
So let's see. Question is, Dad petition. This is there in Nepal. Dad petitioned for my brother in April 2015. NVC approved it in September of 2020. When will he get his visa interview? Any idea?
Oof.
Oh,
I'm gonna look the bulletin up real quick.
yeah.
Um,
I always feel bad.
I
when
feel like at 54 minutes, this chair starts to get really
I feel bad when I
uncomfortable.
let these questions go through because these timing questions are they're tricky.
Yeah, I mean,
And sometimes there are lots of variables so timing is sometimes very difficult to
yeah.
figure out.
So Nepal filed in 2015. Guys, check out the visa bulletin. So the visa bulletin is put out every month by the State Department, and it shows the number of visas that are available every month based on country per country. And one day we're going to figure out how to share screen on StreamYard. But yeah,
the visa bulletin is complicated. It's confusing though. So I mean, Radlin looks at it all the time.
I mean, it's
so she knows
confusing.
how to
Even
read it,
I'm
but
messing up with looking at. Not really.
if
but
you're not familiar with it, it's it'll definitely twist your brain around.
So the sibling question is one that we get a lot. How long is it going to take for my sibling to come here? Now here's and you know why I don't like answering questions like this, because it's bad news answer is what it is. I mean, it's not bad news, it's just news it's not good news. It is bad news. And the bad news here is, looking at the October 2021 visa bulletin, the final action dates for family sponsored preference cases, brother is going to fall under the F4 category, the fourth preference, and they are processing I-130 petitions filed for siblings by their U.S. citizen sibling filed on or before March 22nd, 2007. So, am I right about that?
That was
No, Nepal.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's my bad?
So, what that means is, even though we have an approved I-130 petition, we have gone through the National Visa Center, we're there, maybe we paid a fee bill. It's going to take another 8 years before a visa becomes available for brother. So, I mean, it's good to know. Like, it's good to know how long it's going to wait. But check out the visa bulletin. It comes out every month. You can Google it. Visa bulletin, October 2021 visa bulletin. See exactly what I'm talking about. So that petition has been pending since 2015. So 8 years have already passed, right? No, not 8 years. 6. Yeah, 6 years have already passed. So got a little while to go. Am I doing the math right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't like to do math in public, but it's basically, if this petition were filed today, it would be taking about 14 years, right?
Yep.
2021, 14 years. But he's already waited 8.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 6 years more. See, I did the math wrong. It's 6 more years to go. We shaved off 2 within a matter of seconds because of miscalculation. Right. So hopefully that answers your question. I know it's not the news that you probably wanted to hear. A lot of people are very surprised about the wait times for all visa categories that are not immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, and currently they're long. So,
all right, we got 06 Namey. Hello, watching from Colorado.
All right, awesome. Colorado, love the state of Colorado.
One of our adopted states, Colorado. We go there often.
Yeah, and our daughter almost went to school there. Thank God she didn't. It's way too far. It would have been way too far.
Okay. And then we had the question about the adoption, but that jumped over to the Facebook. See, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, fantastic. See? We'll give a
we
clap for
that question a while ago. See, if you go over to the Facebook, you're the Facebook.
The Facebook.
What am I, 75? No offense, Mama.
No. Yeah. Hello to our family members who are out there watching, which y'all didn't say hi, so probably no one's watching.
All right. Here's Brazen Lawyer, finally able to catch one of your lives.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's Bianca. Listen, guys, if you guys are in Massachusetts area, Bianca's an amazing immigration attorney there. She has some awesome TikTok. She's got a really great following. And she is the whiz on TPS. She is the whiz kid. I'm not going to call her kid. She's, anyone who's younger than us is going to be the kid. It's a compliment, though. It's a compliment.
She wants to know if we do DV lottery cases.
Only
Use the
if
lottery, please.
somebody is here and they happen to
and they happen to
yeah
have won
only
the
if
lottery.
they happen to be in our jurisdiction and we can talk to our local field office to get it done. They're too stressful for me, but so no.
All right, let's see here.
Okay, I'm going to answer. Lovely has a question.
Great.
What is the form number of? We have 1 minute left. What is the form number of the adoption petition to adopt a baby, nephew, or niece? If I'm ready to and done legal adoption of a baby in the Philippines, I don't want to hire adoption agency process petition because they are too expensive. Is it difficult to do myself? So this is a big question. Not unable to be answered in just a couple of minutes. But I will go over the adoption requirements really quickly. So when you're adopting a family member here, like in this case here, or someone, a child who is not going to be a part of, say an orphanage or an agency like that, then there are different requirements. Number one, you have to be, you have to show that you have lived with that child for at least 2 years prior to the child turning 21. You have to have legal custody of that child for at least 2 years prior to the child turning 21. And you have to adopt that child prior to the child turning 16. So those are the preliminary requirements before you can actually file the Form I-130 petition with immigration in order to start that process. Is it difficult? I am going to say yes, it is difficult. It is one of the most difficult things to prove. These are case types that are stubborn in the sense that we always get requests for evidence for them. USCIS always fights us with this, and they're tough cases. Yeah. So reach out if you need some help with that. But those three requirements, you got to meet those requirements first before we can even file that I-130 petition. Hello, Ray.
Okay.
Ray Gardner, our tech assistant and our alarm clock, our 9 p.m. alarm clock, signifying that Facebook live stream is over. Oh, she also likes to say hello. Mm-hmm. Ray, come say hi.
And also, while we're, I'll get her on here first.
Say hi, Ray.
Hi.
She's our timekeeper. She's
our timekeeper.
To tell us when it's 9 o'clock. I did want to, one of the folks on TikTok, and I apologize, there was some questions if we knew anything about extensions for visas for folks from Hong Kongers.
Yeah.
Them. I do not know anything about that. Do you happen to have any information?
So if we're filing an extension of a B1, B2 tourist visa, then you can file an extension with the form I-539. So if you have a B1, B2 tourist visa, the form to use is I-539, and we can help with that as well. So,
and no specific information, anything different about Hong Kong.
Is something going on right now? I mean, I know that there was stuff in the past, but I haven't seen anything, so okay. I don't know.
All right, so just the basic information is what we have on that. Okay, hope that helps.
Yeah. All right, so guys, one more time on how to reach out to us. You can call us 757-464-9224. That's a very easy and direct way to do that. And someone's typically always answering our phone.
Yeah.
And you can also send us an email, info@gmlaw.net, to reach out. If you would like more information on any of the things that we've talked about, we would love to help you and help you move your case forward. We really, really appreciate you guys being here tonight and asking these really great questions. Not only are they helping you, but I know that they're helping other people who are tuning in now and who will be tuning in later as well.
Yeah. And Sergio, get back to us and we'll get back to you, see if we can find somebody in the Houston area for you. Okay.
Yeah. Sergio wants to know if there's any good immigration lawyer in Houston. I mean, we're good immigration lawyers in Houston, but yeah, I know what you mean. We'll put a link in the comments where we always refer American Immigration Lawyer Association members, and it really depends on the type of case and lawyer you're looking for. But if you want to throw that in there, then we'll we can send you a couple of names through Messenger.
All right, gang.
All right, guys.
Thanks
2
for
thumbs
joining
up.
us.
We'll see you. We'll see you next time. Ray, are you coming in to say 2 thumbs? You're not even in camera, Ray.
2 thumbs up. And
2 thumbs up.
If you go to Vermont, buy the merch.
That's where our other daughter
Yeah,
goes.
one
Our
of our
oldest.
daughters goes to the
Yeah.
University of Vermont.
You guys,
All right, go Cats.
you guys take care. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have
good
a great
everyone.
night. Bye-bye.